earlier. So, welcome. I was just thinking about it, like I'm very happy to be here. You know, it's kind of crazy. I was thinking about the space. I saw the space. I've been thinking about it since. And it's here. It's going down right now. Yeah. Just took my while to play an album. I put that on. Word. So we here. Definitely want to talk about some stuff, but just the importance of thought and word, and mean what you say, and say what you want. I'm not saying be perfect, but try. Definitely try, and put yourself in situations that never are unusual for you. Try them out, at least for a little bit, and see how you feel. Because you never know what kind of growth you can get from that. The words, your thought and your word are so important. A lot of the times people just feel like they can't do stuff because they just feel like they don't deserve it, or they're not doing enough, or they're not worth it. When in reality, you have to think you're worth it. You have to think that you can put the work in. You have to believe in yourself. And then you do the work, and then you just keep learning and growing, and you're just gonna keep getting to new places. You know what I mean? Like, I've been wanting to serve the community with a space for a long time. Specifically, in December 2017, I was a model for an Ankara bazaar. It's like an African arts showcase. So there was like models and a bunch of like African vendors. They need a model, so I said I could model, and it was a good time, but. It's good time is subjective kind of, because like when we got there, like the people were dope, but the guy who owned the space was just, treating us crazy, treating us like we was dogs. Worse than that, because people be treating their dogs good, but nah, it was fucked up. And I wanted a space since then because I knew that we were getting treated that way because we were black. I knew that. And I knew that I never wanted anyone else to feel like that or have to deal with that or experience that. It's uncomfortable. And so I always wanted to, and 2017 wasn't that long ago. And this has been happening over the years, even up until like this year, I had an instance with a studio in January where, like, the guy's just a racist dude, and it's just like, nobody has fucking time for that. That shit is whack. You know what I mean? Like, don't rent your shit out on public services. Like, really try to understand your relationship to black people, how you think about them. Because if you're not thinking about that shit, I feel like 9 times out of 10 you're gonna do some stupid shit to black people. Because you're not thinking about it. This country is like set up to do violent shit to us. So if you're not checking that, you'll end up being a part of that. You'll end up being a part of that system. Black people included too. And that's not a plea cop for anybody. That's not a let anybody off the hook, right? Racism is anti-black, Because it's anti-black, of course, we have internalized it, and we have a lot to undo and unlearn too. But that doesn't mean that it's, like we're all doing it, so like maybe it's not that bad. No, it's terrible. You have to think about, everybody needs to think about how we interact with black people, how we interact with each other, how we interact with black people, how we interact with people of color. You have to. Because if you don't think about it, you are going to do what is default in our society. And our society is set up to treat people of color, to treat black people terribly, disrespectfully, violently. So yeah. And so the guy who owned the studio was not black. He was a person of color, actually. But you know, he had adopted some of that anti-black racism in his practice. Whether he knew it or didn't, he was treating everybody like shit. I remember this lady drove all the way up to Manhattan, car full of jollof rice, ready to vend, to sell it. And he was like, no food in here, even though he was told beforehand that there would be food at the event. But it's like when he sees who's at the event, what the event really is giving, who's really going to be there vending things, he starts acting crazy, nasty. You know, acting like we're doing him a favor, even though he was paid for his space. Even though he was paid for the space, he was acting crazy. And that I don't ever want anyone to feel like we patronized you, but because we're black, we need to endure disrespect and being treated as less than, as second hand. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. Fuck out of here. We don't gotta do that. Fuck all that. And so, yeah, that's how long I wanted to, you know, create the space. You can see that I do that with the events that I have. It's all to celebrate our culture. And I usually do it in spaces that, you know, are owned by people of color, or I'm running the whole thing, or I'm having people who help me curate the event or put the event together. All of them are people of color, black people, black women, queer black people, all of that. Definitely Brooklyn artists, definitely Brooklyn rappers, singers, all of that. It's all about humanizing and normalizing us. Like, what the fuck? I don't know why this is such a weird concept, a hard concept to get, but we're here. We influence everything, so what is so confusing about that? Let it be. Just let it be. Yeah, that's what I, you know, the premise of everything I do is that. That's the founding values of my company, Gourmet Gummy. Definitely my values as a rapper, like empower us, push us forward, help us learn, help us grow, to educate at a crazy rate. And yeah, I just understand that because the system is set up the way that it is, we have a lot of work to do and a lot of unity to create amongst each other, to be able to really do for each other. I heard this quote today, and I was listening to a podcast, and I think it was with, if I'm not mistaken, it was with Jim Jones and Rashad Bilal, Troy Millings, Earn Your Leisure. And Jim Jones was saying, we influence literally everything, and we don't compensate each other. We don't pay each other. We don't pay each other no mind. We don't support each other. And then everybody just wait. They wait till we make it lit, and they just take shit from us, or they just eat off us and don't give a shit. How many platforms have we changed and been groundbreakers for? Name one. Hip hop influences everything. Black people influence everything. And We have to understand that, and we have to support each other with that mindset. We can't not support each other and then watch other people take what is ours. We have to support each other 30 times harder than we support anyone else. And I don't want to be that guy, right? But some of us pay $600 for shoes, $1,000 for shoes or more. How many people you know that are artists and are talented, better than the people that's out and they have a huge following? You know them right now. How much people you know have like crazy level talent, insane level talent? Like, you know, they could be huge, right? But you spend the $1,000 on the shoes. And I'm not saying don't spend $600, $1,000 on shoes. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should put that into your artistry too. Why not? If you're gonna make some person you don't even know wealthy, you should definitely make your artist friend wealthy too. That makes a lot of sense to me. Because in a sense, right, you're supporting this person you don't know, this brand you don't know, this company you don't know. You're supporting their art and their art business. And when your friend is an artist, they're an art business. When your friend is a rapper, that's an art business. What's wrong with giving them a rack too? Nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's an investment. That's a much better investment. Yo, think about this. How much better of an investment is it to invest in your and I'm not saying, oh, give a rack to everybody who is rapping out there. But if this is your bands and you know they're nice and you will spend a rack on shoes from somebody you don't even know, you should definitely give a rack to somebody who is your man, who's nice, who you know could make it there, but they just need that extra push, that extra investment. And it don't always gotta be money either. It don't always gotta be money. But money would be nice for artists, because what happens is people have salary jobs. Artists, sometimes they have money coming in all the time, but it usually is not necessarily a set thing. It's all over the place. It could be, 7,000 1 month. It could be 7,000 1 week. It could be 7,000 over the span of 6 months. And you don't want that for your artist friend, right? Especially if they're nice, they go in hand. They working hard on their craft. They are making beautiful things. They believe in beautiful things. Yeah, definitely share that with them. Really. What else? So, yeah, believe in yourself. Watch what you say, watch what you think about, watch who you surround yourself around. Like, right now I'm in millionaire mode, I'm in millionaire mood. And I'm just trying to figure out, because a lot of the things I want to do require me to have more capital in order to accomplish them. And a lot of the things I want to do are huge. And I definitely need to be able to compensate people for the big things that I'm trying to do. So, yeah, that's just what I'm thinking about, for real. I'm trying to get some work done, and I'll be back.